Okay. This is a second video on inverse functions, which is section 1.8 in the PreCalc 1 text that RVCC is using in the fall of 2020. There was a previous video just in introduction to inverse functions and what they are, so if you need to review that, please take a look at that video. This video pertains to just how to find an inverse function. So let's take a look. We have this function f of x is equal to 2x plus 7. And we have over here steps for walking this through. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to replace f of x with y. We're going to exchange x and y. We're going to solve for y, and then we'll replace y with f inverse of x, and then we can verify that they're inverse functions by plugging them into each other. So let's go ahead here, and we're going to start. Step 1 is to replace f of x with y. So we're going to write, instead of f of x, we're going to write y is equal to 2x plus 7. The second step is to exchange our x's and our y's. So wherever we see x, we're going to put y, and wherever we see y, we're going to put x. So this becomes x equals 2y plus 7. Step 3 is to solve for y. So we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. So we get x minus 7 is equal to 2y. And now we can divide by 2 to solve for y. So we get y is equal to x minus 7 divided by 2. Step 4, we replace y with f inverse. So we're going to do f inverse of x is equal to x minus 7 divided by 2. And the final step is to verify that they truly are inverse functions. So we need to plug f inverse into f of x and f into f inverse of x. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do f of f inverse of x. So wherever we see x in f of x, we're going to plug in this whole expression. So we have 2 times this whole thing, x minus 7 over 2. And then the rest of the f of x is plus 7. Our 2's cancel. We have x minus 7 plus 7. Minus 7 plus 7 is just x. So that half of it checks out. We have to do this other half. We have to plug f of x into our inverse function. And when we do that, we have x minus 7 as our inverse function. So in place of that x there, we want to put our whole f of x expression, which is our 2x plus 7 minus 7 divided by 2. So this was our f of x. Sorry, this stylus is not working so well. Okay, so now we have plus 7 minus 7, that's 0. So we're just left with 2x divided by 2, which is equal to x. So this checks out both ways, and you do have to do it both ways in order to prove that they're inverse functions. So we're going to look at one more example. We have f of x is equal to 4x minus 1. And again, we're going to go through our same steps. The first step is to replace f of x for y. So we get y is equal to 4x cubed minus 1. Second step is we replace our x's and y's. So this y becomes an x, and this 4x cubed becomes 4y cubed minus 1. Okay? Now the third step is to solve for y. We're going to add 1 to both sides. X plus 1 is equal to 4y cubed. We can divide by 4. We get x plus 1 divided by 4 is equal to y cubed. And then to find our y, we're just going to take the cubed root of both sides. So we get y is equal to the cubed root of x plus 1 divided by 4. Okay? And then step 4 is to replace y with f inverse. So f inverse of x is equal to the cubed root of x plus 1 divided by 4. Okay? And to wrap this up, we're going to verify this by plugging the inverse into our f of x and f of x into our inverse function. So f of x negative f inverse of x is equal to 4 times x, but we're going to plug this whole inverse expression in for x. So the cubed root of x plus 1 divided by 4. We're going to cube that, and then this is minus 1. Okay, when we cubed a cubed root, we get the same function back out. So this is going to be 4 times x plus 1 divided by 4 minus 1. Our 4's cancel, and we're left with x plus 1 minus 1, which is just equal to x. So we verified half of that. We have to plug f into the f inverse function, so the f inverse of f of x, and show that this is equal to x as well. Okay, so f inverse of f of x, so we're going to take the inverse of f of x. So this is the cubed root, the cubed root of x plus 1, but instead of x, we're going to have our 4x cubed minus 1 plus 1 divided by 4. So we can simplify this. We have minus 1 plus 1. This just becomes the cubed root of 4x cubed over 4. I apologize, this isn't looking so good. 4x cubed over 4. Our first 4's cancel out. This is the cubed root of x cubed. Well, the cubed root of x cubed is just x. So we've shown that this is an inverse function. Okay, so again, these are the steps that we need to follow. We replace f of x with y. We exchange x for y. We change our x's and y's. We solve for y. We replace y with f inverse, and then we verify it by plugging the inverse function into f of x and f of x into the inverse function. Okay, there'll be another video with some other information that's covered in this chapter, but also on restricted domains. So if you have questions that pertain to the restricted domain portion of this, take a look at that video.